I had a guy do original music for me, but I hadn't get to the studio yet, so
No problem.
hopefully get some people anyway. But I'm gonna start it.
All right.
In a second. Oh, you like that? I did a nice fade out. This might remind me of my recording studio days. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second episode of Basement Politics. I'm Freddy Vazquez, your host. Today I have a special guest. I have someone very well known in the community. He's running for Westchester County Legislator. He's a Republican candidate. He has done a lot here in the city. He's a lifelong Yonkers resident and someone who's actually fighting for change, for legislation. And I know he's fighting for it because I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it before he's been elected. So I know he's fighting. So tonight, I'm excited and I'm happy to present and introduce to you, who needs no introduction, the man running for Westchester County Legislator, District 15 on the Republican ticket, James Nolan. James Nolan. Good evening. How you doing today?
Hey, Freddie. Thank you for doing good. How are you?
Great. I'm doing really good tonight, actually. I was excited about it. Actually, this show, I've done these podcast things with my wife for a while, and tonight I think I'm actually sweating because, yeah. And it's because, one, I have you on the show, James. You're someone big in the community. And also a lot of people have come up to me in the past week to say that they love the show. They like it. They like what I do. I'm a natural. And I say that because now they put me on the spot. So now I feel nervous, right? So thank you for that. I appreciate it, but you made me a little nervous there. But thank you. Gotten a lot of good reviews, and I'm happy to have you tonight. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And I wanted to give you guys, the candidates, an opportunity to let the community know, let Yonkers, Westchester, Bronxville, your districts that you're running for, know who you are, know more about you if they don't already know who you are, and talk about your plans for becoming the Westchester County Legislator and your plans once you become Westchester County Legislator for District 15. Go ahead.
Well, once again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it a lot.
You're welcome.
Well, in the last 5.5 years, since my brother was killed, he was an innocent Oakland baseball player that was killed in a drive-by shooting at Burger King. Unfortunately, it's a story that's well known. He also saved 6 people's lives, so he's a hero. But since then, I've done a lot in the community. I started an organization where I provide scholarships to many kids in Yonkers. We're about over 30 kids now since we started.
Wow.
You know what? It's a great thing to see these kids go so far and continue to work hard their college careers. But I've also done a lot more in the community. I've also had multiple laws passed. I've actually had successfully passed the first illegal gun buyback program in New York State. Yonkers.
1 second. I'm sorry, James. 1 second. It's stuttering a little bit, and I don't know if that's on my end. Do you hear me clear? Am I coming through clearly? Am I any stuttering or static?
It's going in and out.
Yeah, it's going in and out. And I want to make sure that people hear you clearly. You don't hear me?
No.
I'm sorry, James. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
I just wanted to just check with the internet service. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but I just want to make sure that people hear you clearly. Can you hear me? Is there any interruptions in the internet? I hear you coming in a little bit. Do you hear them?
Mm-hmm.
Coming in a little bit. So I'm sorry. Let's start over. I apologize. Just the internet was a little staticky, and I want to make sure that people hear you very clearly, that you get your message across, and there's no issues. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. So since my brother's death, I've successfully passed the first illegal gun buyback program in New York State. When I got onto the program, I had the privilege of working with Yonkers Police. What the program consists of, if you have an illegal gun and you want to turn it in, you can call 1-800 gun tip hotline. And then from there, they'll ask you a series of questions. After a few days, you get $500 cash, no questions asked. When I got onto the program,
Interesting.
I started putting it out everywhere, making it known that this program was available. And within my first year on the program, I actually doubled the amount of guns taken off of the streets of Yonkers, and they've had the highest ever. So that
I'm sorry, and so you started a gun buyback program,
no,
correct?
Yonkers
I'm
police,
sorry. Oh, the
Yonkers,
Yonkers police started a gun buyback program,
yes,
um, in which the people would turn in guns and they would get $500 per
yes,
gun.
yes,
And you said you doubled the amount of guns that were brought in.
yes.
And how many guns were brought in as a
Uh,
result of your participation?
the first year I went onto the program, I was able to get 52 guns turned into the program.
Nice. That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
there's always more we could do. But since the program has started back before I joined it, it's actually taken over 200 guns off of the street of Yonkers.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
first of New York State's kind, where any city could follow in the footsteps of Yonkers and do the same to get guns off of their streets. I've also had an illegal drag race confiscation law put into act in Yonkers, where I
Yes.
worked very hard for it after my brother's death. Since then, I've had 7 other municipalities sign resolutions supporting it or signed it into law in their community, protecting their residents as well. It consists of, if you're caught drag racing or doing illegal activities with your vehicles, you could have your car confiscated, sold at auction. I'm sorry. You could be arrested and jailed for up to 2 weeks in jail, and a huge.
Wow.
This also goes after not only the participants that are racing in it, but also the people that are organizing, promoting. If you're involved in this, it technically falls under the guidelines of organized crime because of the amount of proof I've seen.
Really?
$50,000 races. Some of these people believe that it's actually a lifestyle where they could race for each other's values.
I can see that.
$30,000 and less, but they don't see the big picture that they're putting people's lives at risk. And
Right. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, James, but I just want to touch on that a little bit. I live off Central Avenue, right?
Yeah.
So I hear the drag racing at night, and it is bothersome. I mean, the mufflers that sound like gunfire, shooting. I hear the burnouts going on at night. I mean, I'm talking about 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I've actually called the police before just because I couldn't sleep. Now, I appreciate what you're doing. So I want to say thank you, first of all. Somebody who lives off Central Avenue, thank you for that, because, it definitely has been a problem. It's been a serious problem. And I think it's very important, especially on Central Avenue. There's a lot of traffic there that, someone does pay attention to that because, like you said, it's other people's lives that are being put at risk. It's the quality of the community, quality lifestyle. So I appreciate you doing that. I wanted to thank you for that. Thank you.
No, it's my pleasure. Like I said, this is my community, my home, and I just want to make it a safer place for everybody. Unfortunately, my brother was a victim for a race that wasn't his, so I don't want to see anybody else become another victim or have a family go through the pain that we've had. So it's a pleasure of mine to work hand in hand to do what I can to help protect people. The law is actually up in New York State to go statewide. It has a lot of support behind it. I've been communicating back and forth with a number of officials regarding it, and it's coming together fairly well. Also, with that, I've also helped with a lot of charities. I've helped with a lot of programs. I've also had the opportunity, unfortunately, last year during COVID, to put together over 55 to 60 food drives and PPE drives where we were dropping the food.
I saw you. Yes, I saw a lot of the food drives you were doing over the pandemic. I guess shut down. You were really out there. You were one of the people I did see hitting the pavement hard. And this is why I stress to people when they go to vote. Look at who's actually doing the work, right? Look who's actually on the ground in the trenches doing the work, and you were definitely one of them. I will say that you were all over everywhere in New York, Westchester, Yonkers, putting in the work, bringing food where it was needed, bringing help where it was needed. So again, I thank you for that. You were definitely putting the work in.
Thank you. Yeah, it was an honor. It's an unfortunate situation, but I had no problem doing what I can to help. I worked with a number of programs and other charities, and I had a lot coming from my charity itself. We, like I said, we put together over 50, about almost 60 food drives and PPE drives.
Wow, it's amazing.
We dropped it off at essential workers, hospitals, police, firemen, wherever we could, sanitation, schools, dropping off at senior homes, wherever we can get the supplies to whoever needed it, especially the homeless. Homeless, it's a big situation in Yonkers right now, and even the seniors. There's many times I've dropped what I was doing and would deliver groceries to seniors that haven't seen food in like 2 days, and it's very sad.
Wow.
And then that's what
Wow.
to keep going on. I've done a number of other things, like such as toy drive in the community, a huge blanket drive where we've donated over 5,000 blankets to the community of Yonkers,
Wow. Amazing.
like Mount Vernon, White Plains, just because you know what, winter's cold around here, and especially with
Absolutely.
what it's going to bring, especially the homeless situation. We were able to give out over 5,000 blankets, which I'm very proud of.
Yes.
The things that some people don't think of, like blanket, but 5,000 blankets later, it went very well, and it's very unfortunate. So that's what caused me to want to run and have this desire to want to make a difference. I don't see this as just going for a job. I see this as a calling.
Right. I mean, this is being a politician is not a job. It's a job. Yeah, it's a job, right? But like you said, it's a calling. It's something that you wanted to do because you have a passion for change, for helping the community. It's not something that you look for a professional career advancement, personal achievements, right? And you're putting in the work. And I just want to go back a little bit because I'm inspired by your story, right? You are someone who has shown resiliency and strength. You've shown commitment, and you've shown that you can keep pushing even when times are hard. I too, like you, lost a sibling. My sister passed away at 27 years old, and she passed away of an overdose, right? So she was affected by an issue that I would like to see a lot of politicians touch on, which is the drug addiction, drug rehab and drug counseling, even going after some of these pharmaceutical companies. And I know that's on a whole nother, thing. But I just wanted to share that with you because I know how tough that was. And I know what it did to me and how hard it was for me to continue moving forward. But you showed that not only did you continue moving forward, you came out strong and you went out there and you've done a lot of change. And I'm impressed by it. And I just wanted to point that out, because many times, we go through things and it's, hard to know why we go through it, but there's always a purpose that we have and we find in it. And I think that's amazing what you've been doing. So it's awesome. And I just want to point that out and just share that story with you also.
Well, thank you. And I'm sorry we have to have that similar unfortunate situation. And I'm sorry that you just lost. It's not easy. It really hasn't been. And, there's days and I'm sure you know this, unfortunately, that it comes and goes. My brother's 29th birthday is going to be next week. His 6th birthday, still can't believe he's not here. But I, at the beginning, while I was standing next to bed, I told him I'm going to make this a better place, and that's a promise I'm going to keep, and I'm not going to break it. I know there's a number of people that are upset because of the drag racing laws, but you know what? Unless you're actually dealing on a day-to-day and lose somebody because of something that's just, honestly, and I'm sorry for my stupid to do,
Right.
And dangerous, reckless, criminal, they don't understand. This is something that is not a sport or a lifestyle. This is something that is putting people at risk. I know how it feels. Not only my brother, I've also been in contact with a number of people who have lost siblings or kids or friends. This is something that had to be addressed, and I'm very proud of it. Like I said, I told him I'm going to make this a better place, and that's a promise I'm going to keep to myself and to him and to everybody. Because my community, when I was there and I needed it, my community was there for me. Now I want to favor. And I've seen how a number of elected officials turn a blind eye to a lot of things when they only talk about hot topics, and then all of a sudden they go missing. They don't.
Well, that's true. I see that a lot. And that's kind of one of my complaints. And that's one of the reasons why I started the podcast. I wanted to help, and I was talking to someone about this earlier. I wanted to give a platform for everyone to have an opportunity. Some people are more funded than others, right? Some people have a machine behind them, others don't. So I wanted to try and do my part. I kind of on the grassroots level and help get the word out to some of the genuine candidates, and I'm not that I'm the end all be all on who's genuine, but people that I see out there in the community actually doing the work, and you've one of them. And I appreciate everything you've done. And it's amazing that you've done a lot even before being elected to any office in politics, and I appreciate that. And I wanted to just kind of touch on some of the things that you are looking to specifically for your constituents in the district that you're running for, District 15, that covers some of Yonkers, correct?
Yes.
And Bronxville.
Yes.
Now, what are some of the people in those areas looking for in the county legislator?
Well, first is quality of life. We have a constant concern that the taxes are going to be raised, and people are not getting what they desire with taxes. So we know what, listen, my first thing is I'm going to fight to do what I can to not raise taxes, but also I want to make sure I fight for, if you're paying taxes, you're going to get your money's worth living here. And, that's a part of about, we have a homeless problem that keeps growing. That's an issue that needs to be addressed. People are scared about that because they all have families. They don't want to end up in those type of situations. But also with that, we have a mental health crisis that needs to be addressed as well.
Absolutely.
Don't end up homeless. We need to help them. We need to get them back on their feet. Listen, everybody deserves a second. Everybody deserves help. So those are things that I'm looking forward to working on and addressing and being vocal about, like I have been. We also have a senior housing and benefits problem that is honestly absurd. I know a couple that they're in their 70s, they can't work anymore. They filed for food in Westchester County. Combined at the end of the month, Westchester County will get $16 in food. That's horrible, honestly. How can you expect someone to survive on $16 a month in food? You can't. It's not doable. Two people. It's these are things that have to be addressed. We have veterans that are being ignored constantly more and more now. We have less and less programs through this for kids. These are things that are near and dear to my heart. We also need to make sure we work on affordability. COVID did a number to everybody, and you know what?
Absolutely.
The federal government helping us out, giving us the money. That's all well and good, but we need to make sure that we live within our means after that money is put to the right places. So I want to make sure that I put into a position Inspector General. And I do firmly believe that there should be an Inspector General's position here in Westchester to look over all oversight transactions of money going in and out in every city on the Westchester County government. Where's the money being spent? Let's see where we can.
I want to chime in there, James. That's interesting. First, I want you to let me know, and let not me, but the viewers know, what is an Inspector General? Explain the position and what would that person do?
Inspector General is a watchdog of all money transactions to make sure that there's no misspending or spending or that it's not falling somewhere that it shouldn't be, where we could reallocate things. It's a watchdog of all money transactions. Yonkers has one, so there's no reason why Westchester County can't have one itself.
Oh, I didn't even know Yonkers had one. Well, I'm learning. So Yonkers has a watchdog, because that's one of the complaints I hear a lot from people when I speak to people in the community, specifically in Yonkers, because that's where I'm at. It's always about where the money is going. The schools, like you mentioned, programs for kids in these communities, like you mentioned, are lacking, right? So it's always, I think, money, the budget, that's always one of the top 5, I guess, topics, or maybe even top 3 talking points. But we never really see the money, right? Show me the money. How do we get the money, James?
I agree. Well, first it starts with advocating from the capital up in, the capital of New York State, Albany. We always need to make sure we fight hard. Second, we have to look at the money we do have guaranteed here in Westchester County for our budget. And we need to make sure that we look at it closely and monitor it. And you know what? If we have to allocate money from one place to another place because it's needed, then we have to do that. Then we can start looking at outside projects, like bringing back the economy. Economy took a big hit with COVID. So, you know what, we have to start looking at how we can bring in more businesses, help them get on their feet, developers. And also with developers, what I would like to do is every developer wants a tax break, and they're entitled to it because there are to
Kevin, are you getting a lag on your end, your computer? I'm sorry, James, I was listening. Right?
No worry. So, but I do feel that if they want the the tax break, that they should pay at least an 8% percentage or a 10% percentage, something back to the community. We're repaving the road, redoing parks, to the school district for programs for seniors, or kids, or homeless, something. So that 8% or whatever the percentage is, they're giving back into the community to get that tax rate. Because if not, that tax rate, they're going to end up paying a lot more than that little percentage. So we have to be creative with these ideas and what we're doing. More resources and more revenue for our communities.
I agree. That was one of my things with the developments, and I don't know the details because I'm not involved in it, but I was hoping to see more community projects from the developers. Right, they're doing a lot of building. There's a lot of apartments going up. They look nice. They're great. They're beautiful. But I mean, the schools are not looking as beautiful, right? The schools do not have the services or the the equipment. Programs. The parks are dilapidated, but they're building these immaculate, beautiful developments on the water, and there's no nothing for the community and those that have already been here for years and that love Yonkers and love the Bronxville area. And not that we don't welcome others in, but what are the people that are here that are not looking to move into the development getting, right? That's kind of like one of my things. And I'm just wondering, what are politicians like? What is the plan? I mean, how do we get them? How do we get the developers to agree to these terms?
No, it's hard because there's always a back and forth between both parties. With a lot of elected officials, need to remember is they're public servants. They're public servants. They got to start working together. Republican, Democrat, conservative, working family, whatever you are, you got to start working together. There's too much back and forth. Well, this one wants this, and this one. No, we got to start going and doing what's right by the people. And
Absolutely.
we, work with these developers and the unions and the contractors and the agencies, so we can have a good deal for everybody. You can't just be lopsided. And and that's it's a tough situation because some people don't want to be in it. Yonkers does a great job right now doing what they can they brought in over $3 billion economic growth in the last 9 or 10 years. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
To replicate something like that within Westchester County as a whole, that could be something that's huge for us. That could help a big time. And listen, like, I'm always open to new ideas. If you talk to some people don't know what a county legislator is because some people go up to Westchester County and they're very lazy. They sit back, they go quiet, go missing. And that's not what the position is about. Like, we need to look at different ideas, be active, outspoken, and do what we have to that vote go in there. Because honestly, when I am elected, the constituents in my district, my boss, I'm going to answer to them. I want them to hold me accountable, hold me to a level that I should go to. I'm not going to go quiet. I'm going to be vocal. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to go to union meetings. I'm going to go to community meetings. I'm going to still be knocking doors after when I'm elected. Make sure that these constituents are happy with me. You know what? If they're not happy, I'm going to try and convince them, hey, listen, I am doing what I have to do what I can. I want to see what your concerns are. I want you to know that I'm here for you, working for you. And that's
absolutely. And I was having this conversation also with someone else, someone who's running, and and one of the things they said is, I'm going to be out there. You're going to see me shaking hands with the people, walking up and down the street of the community. That's the kind of politician I'm going to be. And I said, that would be great. That would be excellent. And we don't see enough of the politicians in the community, right? Like you said. The politicians work for the people, correct? We are the ones that vote them in. The voters vote them in. But yet it doesn't seem that way. It really doesn't. It seems like the politicians are, these big celebrities, right? Or the big guys on top, and we work for them. We cater to them almost. And they make a lot of promises, right? A lot of promises get said during the elections. But then when it comes down to it, you don't see a whole lot. And I get it. It's not easy. I get there's a lot of red tape. You have to work with different people, different personalities. But at the end of the day, the change has to happen, right? Everyone's talking about it. It has to happen. And like you said, the politicians work for the people. Mm-hmm. We need more access. We need to have ways where we can speak directly to the politicians, where we can make our complaints heard. And maybe there are. And how do we do that if there are, right? So we need to see the politicians more in the community. That's something I would love to see more from all the politicians. I would love to just jump, come out of Geno's and I see, hey, there goes the mayor or county so-and-so just, walking by saying hello to the people. I think that would be great.
I agree, and we do have a number of elected officials who are very outspoken and active in the community, and that's what it's about. Because honestly, I see it as two different types of group of people. I see elected officials and I see public servants. I firsthand love being a public servant because public servant, that means you're in the community, you know what's going on, you're doing what you have to do. It's like I said before, it's more than just a job; it's a calling. So we have a great number of elected officials that truly are public servants, but then we have some that are just very lazy. They feel that they could just sit on Zoom all day, and that's not what it's about. Like we got, especially during this time, we're coming off of a time that we haven't seen in recent history, and we got to lead in them. We got to keep showing everybody the way to go. We got to figure out, we got to give them the mindset that everything's gonna be okay because we're working towards that. We're working towards the end of the tunnel. So that's why I feel like we owe it to the constituents and to the residents, to the voters, that we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be vocal. We're gonna be active. Me personally, I don't like just sitting on my hands. I've never been a person. I'm out there all the time. And I've never been the type of person. Well, like that side of Yonkers isn't going to be ignored. No, I've been on all sides of Yonkers. I've been on all sides of Bronxville, Westchester, wherever I can go, because this is my home. And I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure I help my home, I protect my home.
Absolutely, you definitely are a Yonkers, a son of Yonkers, right? I guess maybe I could say you are a lifelong resident. Your family, very well known. Say hi to mom, Donna. Hello. Beautiful people. I've seen you guys on Facebook. Have a lot of respect for you guys, and I have a lot of respect for you. And the reason why I say that is because I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it. I've seen it with my own eyes, and you have a lot of respect in the community. I see also a lot of people. A lot of people know you. A lot of people love you, and you're right. You got a lot of support from Yonkers, and I think that you're going to do an amazing job as a Westchester County Legislator for District 15, if elected by the people. You've already been doing it, so it's just really just getting a title as a matter of getting the title, not actually doing the work, because you're already doing the work, right? And so I just want to point that out. I mean, you definitely are Yonkers, and I'm sure the people of Bronxville as well, know you very well, and you would champion for them, and you have already, I'm sure, just as hard. When you're knocking on doors, right, and you're in Yonkers, and in what area specifically of Yonkers do you cover? I just want to make that clear. I'm sorry.
Well, besides Bronxville, most of Central Avenue, all of Tuckahoe Road, all the way up to Untermeyer Park on North Broadway. So it covers Roberts Avenue.
Oh, okay, awesome.
It covers a great deal, almost 40,000 people in the district.
Wow, pretty big district. So when you're knocking on these 40,000 doors, right? Did you get to a 40,000?
Not yet, but we will. We've been working hard. We've been very active. We've got great feedback from a number of people. First, you can't really forget me. I'm 6'7".
Right.
So that's a big target to forget. But we're being active. I have a great team of support. I love dealing with unions as well. The unions are a big plus, and they deserve every much as help and support that we can possibly give them. I am an active union member, so they've been a huge part of this process as well. They've been very good, active, because they just want a sounding board. That's it. They want to be heard. And if you could do that to them, you can't promise everything, because promise everything is impossible. But if you could turn around and say, hey, listen, I am going to go to bat for you every single day, I will. And that's what, they're very receptive, and they're helping me. They're doing door to doors with me. But that's we will all 40,000 people. Listen, we have 70 days to go, and I'm looking forward to putting every single day to use that I possibly can with myself, whoever wants to join. I'm not just going to represent Republicans and conservatives when I'm elected. I'm going to represent everybody. That's Republicans, conservatives, Democrats, working family, independent, whatever you are. I'm going to work for you. I'm going to work for you. But you know what? It's only going to be possible if you can come with me. And it's a great team. We have a great team. We have a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge, a lot of active people, and we love doing this. It's like I said, it's a calling. That's what it is for me.
And I understand what you mean. I had that same. Well, I like to say I had that same calling. Myself, and I reached out to you the first time I met you, and I don't know if you remember. I remember. You know, it was at St. Joseph. We were bringing food to the essential workers. I was with some of the other organizations in Yonkers. I wanted to donate some time and money, and you were there as well. And I came up to you and I introduced myself, and then we started talking about baseball, right? Because I'm a baseball guy. I'm a big baseball guy. I'm a third baseman. I grew up playing baseball on Buena Vista, stick ball. We used to play we called it the junkyard
Yeah.
over there in Buena Vista. And then I played Little League for Luddale. And I played over there at the field behind School 27. And I keep mentioning this, and I'm sure people have heard it now, how dilapidated the baseball fields are up there. And I spoke to you about doing something for the kids here in the community that involved baseball. Are you still working with? I know you have the Michael Nolan Foundation, and guys have the baseball or softball tournament. But in terms of, and we'll touch on that in a second. But in terms of, putting together something for kids, a league, a baseball league, is that something that you're still looking into, working on? Where's that at?
It's still active. I'm still working on it. Like I said, COVID kind of threw a wrench into that. I was coming proposal to start redoing baseball fields through my foundation with raising money, a number of other organizations that I do work with. But COVID has affected that, but I'm not going to give up on that. That is something that is definitely needed. Just like, there's county parks that are being ignored, like Tibbetts Park. It's a huge county park that's abandoned at times and forgotten about. But then we have about 50 parks here in Yonkers that need to be helped and done over, the right way. And Yonkers, they need help with it. We have
maybe the developers can help with those parks.
That's where my developer plan comes in, because Yonkers is a great municipality and they do what they can, but they need help. They need help from the elected officials that are representing us. That is something that's going to be near and dear to my heart, because when you're not only providing a better opportunity for the kids on the baseball field, you're also improving the neighborhood. So that can reduce a lot of things like violence, crime going up. That can help bring crime down, because you're providing a better opportunity and better chance for somebody to say, hey, listen, this is my community, this is my home. Maybe I'm not going to go out and do these things, and maybe I'll respect it more. Maybe I'll enjoy this more instead of, doing something that they shouldn't. And that is something that I'm definitely going to be working on. And I've started working on it, honestly, to find different ways and different needs that we can bring in to address these issues, like on the baseball field, soccer field, basketball, football field, because it is important,
Absolutely. And I like to help you, with that. So if once, this pandemic thing starts, and it looks promising, right? Starts to kind of, they always say back to normal, but I don't know if that's going to happen. If we get back to some kind of normalcy, I'd definitely love to be involved in that. Like I said, that's something that's near and dear to my heart with the young kids here in the city of Yonkers. So I definitely would love to do something involving baseball. And I just want to go back to the Michael Nolan Foundation. You are the founder and president of the Michael Nolan Foundation. Give us a little background of the foundation.
Well, originally, it started in 2016. I had to get to work right away. When it all began, unfortunately, after my brother's passing, we had a great number of resources coming in for his expenses, and then we used the rest to start the foundation. It picked up from there. My brother was a big part of the community. He loved helping kids. We first started out giving out 2 scholarships in Saunders High School, his alma mater.
Awesome.
And then I said, my brother was well reciprocated and respected all over the city. And the entire city of Yonkers came out to show support for my brother and my family when we needed it. So that's why I decided to do 8 students, and it's a great thing. Seeing how hard these kids work, I get a number of applications, and just reading their stories and how hard they work and how hard they want to continue to work is very impressive. Like I said, COVID is a little bit difficult to get the word out more and to raise the money, because but we're working hard. The schools has been nothing but great to us. They're very accepting of it. They help a lot with the kids, and I have a pleasure meeting them. When I'm reading these essays, I think about myself. I think about my family. I think about people I know that've been in similar situations, and it hits home. Like these kids. If you can make a difference, it's definitely worth it. Uh,
Absolutely.
that foundation.
Absolutely.
We're growing. We're going to continue to grow. That's first and center to me all the time. And, way before I ever started getting into politics, because, like I said, once again, this is my home. I want to be able to help these kids. I want to be able to give them a sounding board where if they're concerned about something, they need help, come to me. Well, along with the baseball field project, we're going to be expanding. I'm going to be creating a mentoring program. I
Nice.
only got the idea. I got the idea when I went
Nice.
down to Turn to Foundation with Derek Jeter's organization. I brought a number of kids from Yonkers out there, and
Wow.
like how 4 days of learning different things, participating with kids from all over the country. It was the first time that anybody from Yonkers, Westchester, went out to that summit, and there was only 200 kids in the entire country that could go, and I was able to get young
Wow.
students in there. That is something that's big.
Wow.
Hey, listen, who doesn't want to
Absolutely.
Derek Jeter, the greatest baseball player and shortstop of all time? So
Wow.
I
You
growing up.
really made some dreams happen there, didn't you?
Oh,
You,
it made my dreams happen again. And
I'm sure it would have been a lot of grown men's dreams also. But I mean, that's something that those kids will remember forever. And you did that.
and we're going to continue to work with a lot of programs and organizations like Live on New York because New York State is last in the entire country for enrollment. And that's
Wow.
sad. As big and as great as we are, we should be able to, unfortunately, get the numbers up there. So I've done a number of speeches in hospitals, St. Patrick's Cathedral, wherever I could, about organ donation, and I would like to continue that. I want to create a blood drive around my brother's birthday. I know how important blood donation is. Especially during COVID, it showed blood donations is huge. There's a number of projects and programs together for these kids. Especially I've had a number of kids that I've had to get them back into school. They were ready to drop out, and I had no problem calling their principals and walking them through and getting them back into classes. This is something that is just like it's a no-brainer for me. And then we're going to continue to
Wow.
the foundation. We're going to be here to stay. Originally, before COVID happened, we have a big basketball tournament. I wanted to continue the basketball for men, and I wanted to do it for kids. I wanted to have these kids transition with us from kids to teenagers to grown men, so we can continue to grow.
Right. Absolutely.
When I do the baseball field project, I want to be able to bring back a baseball tournament for kids, not just in Yonkers, but over Westchester County, New York. Have them play under the lights on Friday night or Saturday. That'll be a great thing.
That would be excellent. And I was talking to someone, I forget, a politician, another politician, actually a politician now, about the importance of sports programs in schools, and just the importance of program and teaching kids how to work in teams, and how to support each other, and and it gives them an outlet, like you said. It keeps them off the street, keeps them away from all that is negative, and it gives them a sense of pride, something to be proud in. When you're good, I was good at baseball, so and growing up in Buena Vista, we didn't have a lot of money, but being good in baseball made me feel something special. So I love that you're doing that with the kids. I'm really impressed at the fact that you were able to bring these kids from Yonkers to meet Derek Jeter and all that stuff. I think that's great. And also through your foundation, you do have the softball tournament, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we currently have the biggest tournament in possibly Westchester and almost New York State. That's where we generate a lot of our funds from. Like I said, last year we took a loss, and that's why the funds were there. So the next 3 years of regaining what we put out to help with COVID and the scholarships and whatever we could to help people. But we're on a good way. Our softball tournament is a huge event. We average about anywhere from 20 to 25 teams in a day playing. And then it's just, we are actually the only softball tournament that has things for kids also, because think about how many adults are playing all day long. The kids are going to get
Right.
bored. We have a clown
Right.
to play the activities with them. We have bouncy castle houses. We have raffles, DJ. It's a family event. Then that's the best way I could represent my brother. A family oriented event, playing baseball, softball, just having a good time. And it's a great event. We have it this year, the sixth annual Michael Nolan softball tournament, Saturday, July 24th, here in Cook Field in Yonkers. I look forward to it that day. It's a great day. I'm running around crazy. I got a force feed, but it's a good event. And we have a number of people that come out to it. I think we average anywhere about 400 to 600 people over the course of the day. And it's
Wow.
good to see
That's a lot.
just to have a good time and do what's right for charity. I've had a number of organizations like Live On New York, an organ organization, come to my event and sign up 20 organ donors in a day. I've had
Oh,
organizations
wow.
started helping come and get their feet wet and see how I go through the process of running around and introduce them to people. I've had unfortunate victims of violence and tragedies, their families come, unite, and just be a part of the day. Like, they don't have to worry about anything else. Just be with who you want to be with and just enjoy the day because they've already been through enough. And I guess it's a good day for everybody.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It
And
is.
I know you've been doing that for a while, and it's pretty big. It sounds like it's growing. It's becoming more successful. So I congratulate you on that, and I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Now, really quick before we wrap things up a little bit here, James, tell me if you are elected, right? When people go to vote and they vote for James Nolan, and you are elected, what will you do on day one?
I'm knocking on doors still, be introducing myself. I'm going to be out there vocal. If I see going into day one that there are things that need to be addressed on day one, just know that I'm going to welcome myself to the Board of Legislators. I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to introduce myself by saying I would like to work the best that I possibly can with everybody, but I will stand my ground. I'm not going to break. I'm going to stand for what is best for the people. I am not going to be in there for party politics. I'm going to be doing what's best day in and day out, every single day for the constituents. Like I said, if I represent a Republican, conservative, Democrat, independent, whatever you are, I'm there working for you. And you know what? I'm not going to be up there to be a tyrant, but like I said, I'm not going to break. I am going to I've seen it from the outside, and I'm not happy about a lot of things. So day one, I'm already going to have a list of things that need to be addressed, and I'm going to work hand in hand with a number of constituents. I'm going to welcome everybody to work with them and say, hey, listen, party affiliations, whatever it is, we're putting that to a side. We're going to do what's right for these people. The best effort forward. And you know what? If there's some people that just want to constantly let party politics get in the way, we'll find a way to get things done to improve this community of ours. Like I said, we have a law enforcement. They're great, and we had to create that community relations again. And I'm looking forward to that. We have a number of unions that want to be heard and kept in the loop and just have their members taken care of. I have no problem with that. Like, these are seniors that are being ignored. We have a homeless problem that's not being addressed. These are things that I'm going to be working on day in and day out constantly. And if there's something new, there's something new. Just know when James Nolan is elected for county legislator for District 15, that if you call me with a concern, you're not going to just speak just my assistant. I will call you. If
I
not,
like that.
I'm showing up at your house. I want to know
I
what
like that.
this
I like
is.
that.
We're gonna do what we have to do, and we're gonna rewrite politics. We're gonna rewrite politics that this community has not seen before, because it's gonna be given back to the community. It's gonna be given back to the constituents. They're the bosses. I'm working for them, and I look forward to it. I'm very excited about going in, and I just hope I have the opportunity to represent not only just Yonkers and Bronxville, District 15, all of Westchester, because this is what I want to do. You're going to get the best of me. You're going to get the all of me, and I'm looking forward to it.
James, I believe you. I do. I believe you because I've seen you do it. I believe that you will be there. I believe that you will tell it to them just like that, which is a good thing. I think we need more politicians that get into office and are ready to fight for the people. They're not looking to get in there to achieve some financial goal or some professional goal. And I'm not saying anything about anyone specifically. I'm speaking in general terms. But I believe you, James. I genuinely believe you. You are a fighter. You are resilient. You are strong. You've been out there. You've been fighting. You've been making change. Right? It's important that we recognize that the change is actually made. We have a lot of people fighting, and it's great. And we need more people fighting. But you're actually making the change. The change is actually happening. And I respect that. And when you say that you're going to do all those things, I believe it. I honestly, I believe it. And I like you. I like you a lot, James. I like what you had to say tonight. I appreciate you coming on the show. James, if there's anything else you'd like to let the people of Westchester and Yonkers and Bronxville in particular know, here's your opportunity.
Well, like I said before, it would be an absolute pleasure and a great opportunity to wonderful people, Bronxville, Yonkers, Westchester. And I really, really am excited and want the opportunity. Like I said, this is not just a job. This is and it begins with us. That's what it's about. It's about us. It's always going to be about us. It's never going to be about personal interest or being a self-servant elected official like some people are, promoting their own personal business. This is about doing what's best for the community. And I look forward to this. I am excited about this. I am driven for this. And I want to be your next Westchester County Legislator for District 15. If you would like to get to know me more, you can look up our website. It's electjamesnolan.com. On Facebook is James Nolan for Westchester County. And I'm always responsive. You're not going to get a campaign team member. You're going to get me. I'm going to reply to you. And, like I said, I always am open to new ideas, whatever I feel is going to benefit the community. And then, listen, if I don't know something, I have no problem asking. I'm going to ask. I want to know what's going on. So once again, thank you for having me on here today, Freddie. And
you're very welcome.
Thank you. And I hope I have the opportunity to serve this community proudly.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you hear it. There you have it, I should say, and hear it. James Nolan, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. Send my best to the family. You always got my support in everything you do, especially with the Michael Nolan Foundation. I love to talk to you more about that baseball stuff. We see each other around. So we'll talk some more. Thank you so much. Have a great night, and we'll see you around. And good luck. Thank you, James. James Nolan, Westchester County Legislator, District 15. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Take care.
It was skip it a little bit. Wait a minute. I'm not leaving yet. I'm back. Really quick, before I go, I just want to let you know who's coming on next Sunday. We have Tim Hodges, former Yonkers police chief, who's running for city council president, Yonkers City Council president, District 6. I'm sorry. No, actually, my calendar is wrong. Scratch that. I have London Reyes, actually. I was just told by my producer here. London Reyes, running for Westchester County Legislator, District 17, will be here May 23rd, Sunday, Sunday at 7 live, right here on Facebook. We'll also have it on our YouTube channel and our Instagram channel. So if you haven't already, go over to Instagram, go over to YouTube, subscribe and like. I would appreciate it. If you haven't liked the page on Facebook, Basement Politics with Freddy Vazquez, please go over there and like. And check out last week's interview with Stella Suchow, who's actually was at her fundraising or campaign announcement. And I guess she's announcing that she's running, and she's announcing that she's getting it off the ground. So I stopped by earlier. But next week we have London Reyes, county legislator, candidate for county legislator of District 17. He will be here at 7 with us live Sundays as always, Basement Politics. And I'm Freddy Vazquez. So I just want to let you know that. I just want to give you like a kind of an upcoming schedule. So we have London Reyes. We have Tim Hodges. We have Ron Mann. We have, I'm trying to schedule Lakeisha Bellamy. I'm hoping for the 13th. I'm waiting for them to get back to us, for her people to get back, her campaign folks to get back to us. And then we also have Christopher Johnson. I'm looking to finalize that. And we have City Council President Mike Cater. He'll be on the show June 20th at 7. They're at 7 live. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. We have some more great shows coming up next Sunday and following after that. So I want to announce it. So stay, look out for that. Don't miss us next Sunday. And once again, thank you to James Nolan. And we appreciate everyone who's watching. And if you missed the last week's Stella Studio Show, please go onto the site so you can catch this interview with James Nolan on our page as well. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a good night, everyone, and enjoy your week. Make it a good one. I know I will. At least I'll try.